Hi, hello, I'm Sam Harrison. I read, review and discuss fantasy and science fiction books. And today we're going to be talking the Friday show. So welcome to the end of the week, everyone. It's now time for us to talk about what I've been reading this week, what I'm going to be reading next week, the videos that I've made this week, the videos I'm making next week, and a little update on the statistics for the channel. So all of these things I think are fun to discuss. If there's anything that you think that I should be adding to the Friday show, then please let me know. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then and you're watching this show, which is basically just like my weekly update on how everything's going, then that seems weird. You should just subscribe. Anyway, what have I been reading this week? I have been reading Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. So I have been reading this in a combination of ebook and audiobook. So the audiobook was actually free on the Audible catalogue, I think. I didn't buy it. Maybe I'd bought it already in the past and have forgotten. But yeah, I've been mostly reading. I've actually really been enjoying the audiobook. I don't remember the name of the audiobook narrator. I want to say like Stephen Garrett, but that could just be completely made up by me. Okay, right. I guess I'm going to move the iPad so that you can sit here, Barry. Right. So, yeah, the ebook and audiobook. Audiobook, really well done, fantastic. I have often started listening to the audiobook while like doing some chores and been like, oh, I just do a few more little jobs around the house, and ended up like listening to the audiobook for way longer. So yeah, as you can tell, it's a pretty good audiobook. I've also listened to it on two-hour walks and multiple runs. So if that tells you anything about how much I'm enjoying this audiobook, that's it. I have read quite a decent amount via the ebook, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. I don't know whether it's because I haven't read Sanderson for like a year. The last Sanderson I read was The Secret Projects, finishing with The Sunlit Man, which was one that I didn't particularly love. But yeah, I've been reading all of the I've read all the Sanderson books apart from this one. This is the only book left. And then there's Wind and Truth. But one of my friends mentioned something to do with Tress and Elantris, and I was like, oh, so there's like Elantris references in Tress of the Emerald Sea. And I didn't get any of those, obviously. So I was like, now is probably time for me to make sure that I am caught up on the Cosmere and that I understand all the references and stuff. Because, A, I just want to be. But B, I'm going to be doing lots of videos about Wind and Truth with my friend Andre, who has read the Cosmere 3 full times over and is a big Cosmere buff. And I don't want to look like a complete moron, because, you know, that would be embarrassing for me. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really loving Elantris. I'm liking it way more than I expected. And again, I don't know whether it's because I haven't read Sanderson in a long time, and this is like kind of going back to an old favourite. But this feels like one of my favourite books I've read by him. It feels like it's much more concerned with like saying something. Because a lot of the other books are like, these are a cool adventure story. And this one is kind of like about religion and the economy and income inequality. There's lots of really interesting stuff going on in this book. So yeah, really looking forward to reading more of it, because it has just been really good. So next up, usually after I read a fantasy book, I then go in and read a science fiction book. But this time I have decided I think I'm just going to go fantasy and read The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. It's only the 8th of November, but I would really like to read Fury of the Gods, and I'd really like to read Winter's Heart before the end of the month. And obviously all of these books are big, long books. I'm actually now completely done when it comes to having extra books. So in September, I read a ton of books, but I obviously only review one of those a week. But now we get to November, and because I have been slow on reading the last 3 books, I've actually used all of my backlog. So now if I want to continue to do a review every single Monday, I need to finish a book every week. And Elantris I thought was going to be a quick read. It hasn't been so much, but to be honest, I've also had quite a busy week. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish Elantris by Monday, and then probably on Monday record the review for it. Elantris also, I am buddy reading with my friend Andrew Watson, who has a much bigger and more successful and better produced channel than mine. Andrew and I will be doing a spoiler discussion for Elantris. He hasn't started reading it yet though, so don't know when that might be. But yeah, we'll do a spoiler discussion, and if it ends up being, it'll either be on my channel or on Andrew's channel. It just depends on who wants to do it. And wherever it is, I will let you guys know when it's available to watch. But yeah, I'm genuinely really loving Elantris. I don't know why I went back to that, but yeah, loving it. Fury of the Gods up next. Then after Fury of the Gods, as I was saying, I do want to read the next Wheel of Time, which is Winter's Heart. Path of Daggers is the second lowest rated Wheel of Time book in the series. So the fact that I read and quite enjoyed Path of Daggers is probably a good sign that I will have a good time with Winter's Heart. I've been through a couple of weeks of like really, really busy in my personal and my working life. So it will be nice to have a little bit more freedom and time and get back to some Wheel of Time. However, again, that does rely on me being able to finish Elantris by Monday and then Fury of the Gods in a week. I'm at the 60% mark in Elantris, and I do actually have a decent amount of time to read over the weekend. So hope against hope, I will finish Elantris and then I will get straight into Fury of the Gods. That's the ideal would be like, I can finish Elantris today, but you never know really. It's really hard to predict the strains and stresses on your time when you have kids. Although my son is going to art club tonight, I think, so that should give me like 2 full extra hours. So that'll be really fun. Next up, let's talk videos. So this week we had my review for What If Wanda Maximoff and Peter Parker Were Siblings, a very long and unwieldy title that almost sounds like a light novel. However, it was a Marvel Universe alternate universe story, which I genuinely also really loved. It's been like 3 back-to-back books that I've read that I've had a fantastic time with. Elantris so far isn't as good as Return to Adan, but I would imagine at the end of the year, Elantris might end up being in my top 5, unless Brandon absolutely shits the bed. But the thing that he's best at is endings, so one can only hope that this will only rise in my estimation. But yeah, What If also might sneak into the top 10, might be my number 10 spot, purely because I love Marvel stuff, so it'll be great to be in there. I might ask for the other 2 books for Christmas, actually, put them on my Christmas list, because they're the kind of thing that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy these books, but if I'm being given them, then I'll probably read them. I should add them to my book wish list, although only one person has ever bought something off the wish list, so, and it's not even remotely up to date. I'm sure there's like 6 books on there that I already own. After the What If review came my October recap. That was just telling you guys everything that I read for the whole of October. It was only 3 books, so it was not particularly detailed. After that was the Path of Daggers spoiler cast I recorded with Matt. We had a great time. You may be able to tell from the sound of my voice right now and the sound of my voice on that video, I've been ill all week. So you probably watching that video were like, wow, Matt's doing a lot of talking here. And it's because I was like genuinely struggling not to cough every other sentence. So Matt kind of carried that episode, which was really nice for me. And I am hoping to be back to full strength the next week, as I'm feeling a lot better the last couple of days. Although, as you can tell, my voice is still absolutely buggered. After that was a Wandering In episode, and I managed to do 2 chapters this week. I almost had time for a third, and then was like, no, I need to get back to reading Elantris and doing other stuff for the rest of the viewers of the channel, so I just did 2 episodes. Next week on Monday should be the Elantris review. On Tuesday, I'm going to do an unboxing of another subscription box that I have been sent by Your Paper Quest. So I'll be opening the surprise box and having a look at the books that they've sent me. And also, I have 4 packages to give away. So I am going to be going through the comments over the weekend on my last Your Paper Quest unboxing, and I will be choosing 4 commenters at random to receive the packages that I've got here, the extra ones. So literally next, for those of you who've been like, it's been over a month and you've not given away these boxes, it's happening. It's going to be next Tuesday. Wednesday, my schedule, the production schedule that I have on my iPad here just has 4 question marks. So currently I have no plans or ideas, but next Wednesday I will be releasing a video, just don't know what it's about. It may end up being a double Wandering In week next week, or I did have a think about maybe trialing the spoiler discussion piece by piece, like section by section of a book by doing with Fury of the Gods, because I know loads of people are reading it at the moment, but I think that I honestly don't know. If you'd be interested in a like section by section Fury of the Gods spoiler discussion, so like I don't know how many pages it is. Say for example it's 500 pages. I could read 100 pages and then be like, first 100 pages spoiler discussion sort of thing. I would probably specifically set it by chapters, and that's what so for Wind and Truth I will be discussing it in parts. So every Stormlight book for the end of time has had 5 parts, so I will probably be doing 5 videos, 1 a week, which each one is a spoiler discussion on each part. And I'll be recording those with my friend Andre, who again is a mega nerd on the Cosmere, and he literally knows everything. He even knows like all the Word of Brandon stuff that's not even in the books. He's completely like locked in. He knows what he's talking about. Then there'll be a Wandering In video. Then there'll be the Friday show, as per usual. You may be looking around and going, where's your TBR for November, Sam? I'm just not going to do TBRs anymore. I know people like those videos, but I don't stick to them, so I feel bad promising to read books to you guys and then not reading them. So from now on, no TBRs. I'll decide when I finish a book what the next book I'm going to read is. Channel stats. So if you are interested in how the channel has been performing in the last 7 days, I'm going to tell you. So over the last 7 days, I have had 1.4 thousand views, which I'm very happy with. Not as good as last week, where it was 2,500. But I also did not release a massive Wheel of Time collaboration with 2 very popular booktubers. So understandable that I'm 1,000 views down. I'm also at 160 watch hours. The fact that people spend 160 hours watching my videos in the last 7 days is quite mental. So thank you so much if you've watched a video in the last 7 days, even if it's an old one. They all count. Every single video on my channel counts, no matter how many seconds you watch of it. So thank you. And then I only gained 7 subs over the last 7 days, which is quite slow compared to the previous week where I gained 25. But over the summer, my sub growth has been between 1 and 2, between 0 and 3 a day, really. So that kind of makes sense. I would love to see some more growth, and I'm hoping that I will see some more over December as I do Wind and Truth content and Book of the Year content. So if you weren't around on the channel last year, I actually produced like an entire season of Book of the Year content. So basically, from my background in video games, fandom, and content creation, one of the big things that I always loved was when they did the Book of the Year, Game of the Year content. So there would be like weird categories, so like awards that were like best character and things like that. And so I'm probably going to be doing a superlatives video. I'm going to be doing a Book of the Year top 10 list, obviously. I think I may do a I was thinking about doing a Wheel of Time 1 year wrap up video. If people would be interested in that, let me know. I am also probably going to be doing a look back at my 2024 goals video. I'm also going to be looking back at my 2024 predictions videos. So like my most looked forward to books and things like that. Did I read them? What did I score them? Things like that. And then I'm also going to be, hopefully, I will see if I can get a collaboration video together. So see if I can get a ton of my friends who have booktube channels and see what their favourite books of the year were. That is a video that I always love watching on other people's channels, so I would like to do something similar. So yeah, if you're interested in a lot of listicle style content, keep an eye on the channel in December. I will probably be posting my top 10 books of the year video either on the last weekday of 2024 or on Christmas Day, which I did do before. So if you're interested in that, the schedule kind of goes awry over Christmas. So I do still try and do a weekly update and a Wandering In video every week, but the review videos might be a bit here or there because the Book of the Year stuff kind of comes together when it comes together, especially collaboration stuff, so it's not always going to be as predictable. However, anything that you guys are interested in... Oh, also, I was talking about that I'm going to do looking back at 2024 predictions and 2024 goals and things like that. I will also be making 2025 goals and 2025 predictions. And I'm super interested to see whether I will hit my reading goal, because I set a higher reading goal than last year. So last year I set it at 50 books and this year I set at 60, and I don't know whether I will actually hit that because I've had multiple really slow months this year. One or two of those slow months were caused by me reading books that I should not have tried to read, that I should have put down. But some of them were caused by life stuff, like my daughter being born, and busy work times, being ill. So it's been a weird year, to be honest. It's not been a very regular year. Last year I was much more predictable and regular, and I actually outpaced my reading goal by like 6 books, I think, last year. This year, I mean, if I was being cheeky, I could just read a ton of manga or a ton of comics and register those. I've not really read that many graphic novels this year in terms of like collected editions of comics. I've mostly read the odd single issue when people have said it was good. Speaking of comics, I'm going to do a video on DC's Absolute line once Absolute Superman is out. So, in fact, that might have come out this week. I should check the DC app. If it has, I'm either going to do shorts or a full video on all of the Absolute comics. So stay tuned to the channel if you are into comic book stuff. I think that's everything that we need to talk about this week. I have, as always, loved talking to you. I love making this Friday recap show. I feel like this is a chance for me to actually converse with you as a community member. If I see comments through the week, those are the ones that I might pick up and answer questions on this video. Or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, pop them down in the comments below. Also, let me know what you've been reading, what you've been up to, what you've been playing, what you've been watching. I'd love to get some movie recommendations if anyone's got anything like that. And subscribe if you haven't, because That's the only way our community is going to get any bigger, if people who watch these videos subscribe to the channel and get down in the comments. As I've said to you guys a few times before, I'm bad at answering comments because I tend to prioritize the reading of books and the creating of content over the comment replying, but I read every single one, and I promise you I do. So if you've left a comment, thank you so much. At some point in the next few weeks, I will sit down and reply to all of them. I do have a bunch of free time over the Christmas holidays to read some more and to hopefully make some more content. So if you guys are interested in that, up for that, then I would love to chat with you down below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you on Monday.